This is college football at its absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins.
By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. It's McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, July 20th. Officially. There it is, maybe. Welcome in. We've got a good episode. It is 478, creeping up on 500. It's coming. We are creeping up on football season. It's almost time. We'll be in that. Kind of like, you guys know my stance on neutral site games, besides bowl games. But it does really suck when the first one isn't in Neyland. Like, you get that privilege as a Power 5 team that your first game of the season, especially if you're playing cupcake teams, which I'd be fine with playing away if it was Virginia, if you did home and home, but you get that privilege as a Power 5. So it sucks when you don't get to play at home.
I love how you called Virginia a cupcake game.
I correct. Don't put that evil on me.
You said it. No, you said it. I love it.
I corrected it. Don't put that. I'm not. No.
We're a 28-point favorite. I mean, that's a cupcake.
I have full faith in Tennessee to win it, but I've also been a fan of the Tennessee Volunteers my entire life, and I've seen what anyone in orange, even if it's the wrong shade, is capable of.
No such thing as a cupcake. That's what you're saying.
Certainly. And you might even win them, but I've left Ohio. I've left
UMass.
I wasn't at the UMass game, thankfully. That was terrible, though. Charlotte. I've left a lot of games just thinking we still lost. The scoreboard might not say it, but the fans lost that game.
Yeah. Not great.
So I have full faith in this team. I'm not trying to put that evil on them, but I don't want to get added. I don't think Virginia's even going to show up to Knoxville based on their assumption of the schedule. So I'm not like that makes me worry even less. We're good. We're fine.
Yeah, that's my favorite is they think it's in Neyland.
Yeah.
Which, hey, we're in the same boat. We both wish it was in Neyland.
I mean, honestly, though,
so maybe they're just trying to speak it into existence. They're trying to help us out some.
100%. And I mean, we've talked about it, like team stadiums we want to go to, and we would obviously like to see Tennessee play in those. So that would be, if you're a college football fan, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Many of the stadiums we've talked about. Like, I'm excited to go to Lincoln, if that's still happening. Probably won't with the SEC change, but if we do.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska.
I was thinking, yeah. What about Washington? I guess that's another one, too, that we
I don't know if that's like that high up on my list, but yes. Yeah. It's a good example.
We'll try to go to that.
Yeah. We are. I mean, we are.
We're going.
I'm doing I think we go and like that's a week-long trip, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. So make the most of it.
Okay.
Make the most of it. Yeah, so I think they probably are a little upset, and I don't blame them. They should be. Maybe it'd be cooler if it was in their new stadium. But Nissan, I think Nissan gets more crap than it should, but there isn't anything special about it.
Yeah. Music City Bowl is bad, and I think that's what makes people have the field looks awful. Or it has
always. It's never looked good. So that doesn't help. I'm talking about the stadium though itself. Like right. I've sat in a lot of places. I don't think there's a bad seat in that stadium.
Yeah. It's on the smaller side. I'd like to see it bigger, but they can't be all Neyland.
No. Absolutely. If they were, Neyland wouldn't be special.
Right.
So what are you gonna do? We're talking commitments, baby.
Wow.
Do what?
I said all 5.
Yeah,
Stars.
of course.
Filling it up.
I don't know why you whispered that. SEC Media Days. This is kind of sucked. Like I haven't really gotten to follow SEC Media Days super closely. So I think tomorrow I'm just going to go back and just like soak it all in.
Well, I could probably save you some. There's not a lot.
And they're never, and that's probably like it's probably not going to be as much fun to rewatch. It's always fun to watch it and see how each coach dances around not saying
Every
anything.
question.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's besides Lane Kiffin, who just says the dumbest shit possible that comes to his head.
Yeah.
And then Mike Leach, who rip in peace. I wanted to wear powdered wigs for this podcast, but they wouldn't come in time. So maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe episode 500, we just have a rip Mike Leach segment and we just wear powdered wigs.
And eye patches.
Sure. Yes. But yeah, so I think those are like the few coaches that do give you entertainment. But so I don't think it will be as much fun going back and doing it all, but it is fun in the moment. Maybe I'm the only one.
I mean, like you said, it's kind of like it's humorous and just watching people dance around each question. Like even the reporters are like trying to get something, and like even the players are just coached to like not say a word. So yeah, it is what it is. But I guess it happens. So we're going to talk about it, and it is cool that it was in Nashville. So a lot of those guys got the. Well,
who cares?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, who cares?
Take it back to Birmingham.
But it did give some, like, I guess, question filler, like, hey, 44 days, you'll be back here playing Virginia.
That's fun.
Yeah, neutral
for
side.
No one. How does it feel to be playing in front of 60,000 screaming bachelorettes? I mean, that's got to be just a ton of fun.
Electric.
For sure.
They're all, is it Ashley Mahomes?
I don't know her name.
Patrick's wife?
No clue.
Yeah, I just imagine
that I don't know that.
Yeah, when you said 60,000 bachelorettes, I just think of her, of 60,000 of her.
Right. I do like in QB, I almost said QB1, rip in peace QB1. Such a good show. Right. And they have dead footage that they just won't put out there. There's a whole season with Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson that exists in just void space, and it sucks. We want that. Anyways, is it just called Quarterback?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Kind of a cool name. Didn't realize that. But
I'm 2 episodes in, so don't ruin it if you.
Me too. Me too. Okay. I'm not even finished the second, but the scene, I just saw it on the interweb that he gets pissed because he sprains his ankle and they send him back for an x-ray. He slams his jacket. Cover your ears, kids. He yells the F word. And she just kind of turns and she's like, I don't think he's mad at them. He's just mad that he's hurt. It's like, thanks for informing me that he isn't pissed at Andy Reid. Thank you.
Perfect.
I'm not married to the guy, and I kind of figured as much.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you can read him.
Yeah. Appreciate the intel.
Where am I at now? We got a lot to talk about, sort of. This is a good time of year because there's not a lot to talk about, but there's stuff that happened that we can talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you agree with that? SEC Media Days, we can't really say anything, but we're going to say something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool to like just at least mention like why I guess these 3 were picked. I guess you might have a good idea, but yeah, talk about that a little bit. I mean, I listened to all 3 of theirs, like with the media, their pressers with the media. So it was cool, I guess. The clip with Paul Feinbaum, man, I don't want to.
I haven't watched it yet. I saw an article about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Paul just had the jitters or, I mean, he's getting up there in age, and it didn't seem.
I did see this week he got accused of being a Tennessee.
Oh,
I think by an Alabama fan because he went to Tennessee, and I was like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't think he's just ragged on Tennessee. He certainly has not had Tennessee's back for just any reason. Like he's not. Yeah.
Oh, it's Brittany Mahomes, not Ashley. Nah, they're kind of similar.
Similar. Same name
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Used by the same amount of white girls. But yeah, I was like that. He's just not a Tennessee homer. It's not even close. Also, an Alabama fan. This is going to be my stupidity. I'll go ahead and talk about it. That talked about how Alabama it took Tennessee to win. It took Alabama having 17 penalties and a missed field goal. I think he's forgetting that Tennessee gifted Alabama a touchdown by just dropping the ball in the backfield from the 15-yard, I guess probably the 25-yard line. It was probably right after kickoff. 25-yard line that they got a walk-in touchdown from. Also, the officials gifted Alabama. I'll spot them 3 points. They gifted them 4 points. Third down, third and long, ball into the end zone. Alabama player shoves. I can't remember who. Did we intercept that? I need to go back and watch that game. And we get called for PI. And instead of being fourth down interception, I don't think it was interception. They get first and goal, and they score a touchdown on that drive. So 4 points spotted as well. So in total, you got 11 points spotted in that game, and you only lost by 3. So, I mean, remember what you want to remember. That's fine. Remember what you want to remember. But those things happen.
Yeah. Also,
football's a weird game. I don't know. Oh, and like none of the penalties were pre-snap penalties. They don't really have a choice in calling.
Also, we're just not even going to mention that Cedric Tillman didn't play in that game.
It's true.
So,
you posted the who had the
Trayvon Flowers
game this week. You posted the Trayvon Flowers, and I just thought about it. Pitt. I don't think about the Pitt game a lot because it's obviously like wasn't as big of a win as some of the other ones we had. But if that win doesn't happen. And then the way it happened too, obviously Cedric Tillman stand up, defense played well. We murdered 6 quarterbacks of theirs, and they got a guy to the stands who almost took them to victory. Just like the way it happened, the fact that we won that game on the road. I know it's not a crazy environment, but on the road, the season's not the same if you don't beat Pitt. And so it's weird that you forget about. Well,
it catapulted you, but Alabama was in there, Clemson was in there, LSU, Florida. You had all these big wins like right after that. It is hard to, and I'm sure there was a lot of drinks flowing, between those weeks. So yeah, it is hard to kind of remember that. But you only remember the last one, and that was Cedric Tillman will walk off there. So
for sure. All right, before we get into the rest of this episode, I want to tell you all about some of our friends. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectible store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT Sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Underdog is now located. They've moved. If you've been to Underdog before, they have moved. They're now located at 640 Plaza, 4452 Western Avenue. That's in Knoxville. Landon says it's by a Little Caesars. I'm sure there's a Domino's if you need to get Domino's. So do both of those at once. Shout out to Underdog. They're the best. Excited for what's going to come the rest of this football season. Yeah. Shout out.
All right. Big news.
Always bet on the Underdog. Forgot that.
Yeah.
Except unless they're a 20-point dog, then maybe leave that one alone.
Yeah. Bet on the Underdog when, maybe in recruiting. Tennessee lands 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews, the number 9 all-time recruit that Tennessee has landed, the top-rated wide receiver that Tennessee has ever landed. So, really big commit, and it is insane because you just imagine all those wide receivers that Tennessee's had over the years. I mean, at one point they were calling us wide receiver U. I don't know. We're probably getting back to that, when you have a Blitnikoff and getting guys drafted year in and year out. But, it's pretty insane that this is the first 5-star wide receiver Tennessee has landed since 2015. I know what y'all are thinking. Preston Williams didn't turn out great. But let's be honest, the dude was freakishly talented.
Well, there's more in the mix of that too.
It wasn't his feel. It wasn't the play on the field that kept him from.
Yeah, it was like the first entire year he wasn't really even with the team.
Right. So yeah, they land Mike Matthews out of Parkview High School. If that sounds a little bit familiar, Tennessee did have a Another commit ended up transferring when the Jeremy Pruitt stuff happened. But Cody Brown was at Parkview, and I don't know if they still do. I need to look into it. But Parkview used to have the orange and white checkerboards.
They don't.
They don't anymore. Okay.
They have a turf field. They have did they have the Clemson Paul with the
They
checkerboard?
they do have the Paul.
That's funny that they had both of those. But no, they just have the Clemson Paul now.
And it came
I've watched this
those two teams.
There you go. Yeah.
So
something about those colors, man.
Yeah,
those logos.
Another win over Clemson. Dabo Swinney just taking L's from Tennessee.
It never stops.
Yep. Death taxes and Dabo Swinney losing to Josh Heupel. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, 1,000%. Also, one of their fans said that this is their worst season in a decade. They won the ACC. Are they admitting that the ACC is that weak?
In a decade?
That's what they said.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been out of there for like 2 years. 3 years?
Two. This will be third.
Yeah. A decade? This is your worst in a decade? Okay. Well.
Whatever. But
you won the rough 8 years.
I mean, you admitted the. No, wait. This is their worst in a decade. It's in the last 10 years.
In a decade. I thought you said their worst decade. Okay.
No. In a decade.
Okay. Well.
No, their worst season in a decade. And they won the ACC, which to me just admits that you play in an incredibly weak conference.
Yes.
And that's the only reason you've been good.
Yeah.
I insinuated the last part, but you get it. Yeah. But no, I mean, to get back to Mike Matthews, I mean, to pull a kid out of Georgia, which, like you said, it came down to Tennessee and Clemson, but regardless, pull a kid out of Georgia to compete with a program that's in the position that Clemson's in. And I know Tennessee had this season, but when you're talking about where you're going to be next season, it's hard to use one season as an example because we've talked about it. You got to, which it's only going to be year 3 we're going into year 3 of Heupel. Mm-hmm. And you can probably still sell vision now, but you're selling you're selling your resume now. And so that's big that obviously this season resonated a lot with that 24 class.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the offense is something like wide receivers want to come play in. You're going to get tons of touches.
You're not going to come off the field if as long as you get on it. You're not going to come off.
Yeah. You can play in the slot, play outside. You can play a lot of different roles in it. Also, you're going to get out in space. A guy with this athleticism, this speed, definitely loves to play in space. But we got to give credit where credit's due. Kelsey Pope, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, good God, this dude is a freak. Blitnikoff winner in his first year as a position coach, and then goes and lands a 5-star in the next recruiting cycle. I mean, the guy's a rising star in this business. I'm glad Josh Heupel kind of gave him his opportunity because I feel like he's going to be around a little bit just to kind of learn from him before. I'm sure he gets other opportunities at some point, but I mean, what a job from him. And Joey Halsley. I mean, he's a first-time coordinator, and both those guys recruited Mike Matthews and got that job done.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, too, I hope with the Kelsey Pope transition, too, means that you've got guys in your program, too, that can kind of carry on things. And you don't necessarily have to go get the best guy out of the program. You're working from within. And I'm not saying you should never do that. Don't get me wrong. You can go get good quality coordinators or position coaches, go do it for sure. But I like the thought of, because you talked about Kelsey Pope moving on, which made me think of it. It's like, if you can find guys that have been with your program already, like that's huge. They know the guys, they know this, they know the system, the expectations, the communicate, like they know how it works. So if what Kelsey Pope has done is just carried on, and obviously he's done more than that, but the next guy can do, like, that's huge to me. And Joey Halsley is a good example potentially of that as well, who's somebody's been at the program since year 1.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been huge to kind of see the turnaround these guys, and I know we were talking about the NCAA stuff last episode, but for them to kind of, I mean, that ended on Friday, and then on Wednesday you land a 5-star. Like, as soon as that NCAA cloud was over, it seemed to start going right for you. And not saying Mike Matthews, if that decision probably had nothing to do with the NCAA stuff, but it does seem like there has been a weight lifted off this program.
I mean, you say that, but the thing is if you do get hit with a bowl ban, a postseason ban,
yeah,
it very well could. Now that seemed to be completely off the table, no biggie. But if that was the case, it probably would have affected it. I lost my train of thought where I was going before the bowl ban thing. Well, that sucks. I feel like I had a good point to make, but
you're good. I mean, going back to beating out Clemson, both of your wide receivers you have in this class, you beat out Clemson for. So
yeah,
again, just taking L's. In baseball, the Orange Bowl, Billy Amick transferring, you get Braylon Staley, you get Mike Matthews. I mean, it's tough to be a Clemson Tiger right now. It is.
Yeah. No.
A William Satterwhite was another guy that.
At least you get to live in Greenville. It's a pretty cool place. It's about all you got.
I guess. Is that considered Greenville?
I think it's maybe. I don't know.
It's like outside. Yeah. I guess Furman would be more Greenville, right?
Maybe. I'm not super familiar with the geography of that area.
Yeah, me either.
Apologies for mislabeling Greenville. If they don't want Clemson, I apologize.
Yeah. Let's cool city. Let's not get
let's leave Clemson out of it.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, the recruiting trail is absolutely scorching right now, and I love it. We've kind of talked about battle, which Clemson hadn't. You beat Clemson out recently, but to beat out in the long run teams that you got to compete with year in and year out, that's huge.
Yeah, and like wide receivers, no offense to Georgia, they're on top of college football right now, but wide receivers aren't beating down the door to go to Georgia. Now, I know they got some really good ones committed as well, but, I mean, you look at the last couple of years, what wide receiver from Georgia made headlines in college football? Now, Brock Bowers is a different story, but and Darnell Washington was making headlines, receiving money from Tennessee. But, I mean, George Pickens was an all-time athlete, and – Georgia, I mean, part of it was his own fault, but Georgia couldn't keep him on the field, and
what did he do? What, did he squirt a water bottle on someone? Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, yeah.
He had some issues, but that was a guy that should have been in the first round, no doubt, and slipped because of off-field issues, and obviously we've seen Georgia and how they run their program and, just let players run amok. So,
no, not that. I mean, to be fair, they are running fast during that or driving fast during that muck. They're not just in the muck. They're just going through the muck very fast.
Speed. Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, they have
their mug boots on those cars.
They're just teaching them to go full speed, full tilt the whole time, everywhere they go. And I respect that. That's bought in vision to that program, Landon. Mm-hmm. Kirby Smart's running a cult effectively down there. I mean, he honestly is. They're going to go 7-5 this year. Look, prediction right now. SEC Media Day prediction: 7-5 Georgia. Clip that. Kirby.
Wow.
Run it in the locker room. Y'all. Then you can say that someone said it seriously, sort of, when you win a national championship and say people doubted us. I'll give you something.
Okay, so you don't believe that?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I was just 7-5. I mean, like, cool. Like,
but every
player going to be as good as last year. No, but
every player in that locker room legitimately believes that people thought they were going to go 7-5.
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
I almost there was a SEC special on Georgia today, and I almost watched it to see because Kirby Smart was talking in part of it, and I was like, surely he's not gonna bring up some of this stuff of them being the underdog and stuff like that. He didn't, but I was waiting for him to be like, "You're the best team in the country," and then clip that. But he ended up not saying it, and I didn't want to watch any more of that crap, so I turned it off.
I like that. Yeah, it's truly a masterful job of motivation. I mean, truly. This guy knows ball. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, that's insane. But yeah, so that's, I think, I wonder what the worst prediction was at SEC Media Days. The only one I saw that was bad is I believe it was Peter Burns that had Kentucky finishing second in the East.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't love that.
Also, I think I know what the term rent-free means. The first comment I saw was a Kentucky fan say, I can't wait to see the Vols tears. Not prompted. That was his just first tweet. Can't wait to see the Vols tears in this. Someone tweeted back at him. He said rent-free.
Maybe he's talking about Kavaris tears.
I don't know what he means because I think that would be rent-free. And he also brought up the point that Kentucky's finished above Tennessee 6 of the last 8 years. In those same 6 of the 8 last years, Tennessee's beat them, or 8 years, Tennessee's beat them 6 times.
Yeah.
So,
cake. Your schedule's cake. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1. You play Louisville.
They lost to Jim Chaney as a head coach. I'm pretty sure it's his only win as a head coach. That's Jim Chaney. So we're good. Last time they played Dooley, they won. Last time they played Butch, they won. Last time they played Pruitt, they won. Show me the pattern.
Yeah. And you had a second-round quarterback the last couple of years, and I mean, you just got blanked.
Whoa. In his head, he was first-round quarterback.
Yeah. Well, in a lot of people's minds, said he was going 4 overall, but they picked Anthony Richardson, who has shown all the talent in the world, but has yet to
No. Has not shown it. We think he has it. He's done backflips. We think he has it.
Okay. Yeah. But has not been able to, besides that Tennessee game, I can't remember a time where I'm just like, damn, Anthony Richardson, pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever thought that. This is why we need to see QB1 though. I wouldn't mind thinking that.
Yeah.
Especially now that he's not at Florida. Like, I'll think that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it was honestly kind of sad that thought to creep in during the Florida game when he threw for 400 yards.
Never beat Tennessee, right?
No.
As a starting quarterback?
No.
Emory Jones.
Hang the banner.
There you go.
I
hope that's a defensive graphic that we tweet out, like number 4 overall quarterback.
He's been near 4 quarterbacks who have beat Tennessee.
Yes.
He has been near them.
Yes.
But himself, no.
Yeah. Going back to Mike Matthews a little bit. That was a tangent. Love that.
Absolutely. That was a multiple tiered tangent.
Yeah. Caught 48 passes this past season in his junior year for over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Had 2 interceptions at safety. Plays basketball and football. And I think he has a couple schools that I know Auburn's offered him to play basketball as well. Now,
of course Bruce Pearl did.
Of course. Yeah. He sees 5 stars. He's like, God offer. But yeah, just it doesn't seem like he's too into the whole look at me on Twitter. It's kind of very simple, and I know the announcement was on YouTube last night, but it just seemed like he was just like. I mean, they did a 20-minute conversation before they even put him on there, and then he put it on there.
He didn't put Clemson on? He didn't put a Clemson hat on first?
No, he didn't.
Then
no.
He
just unzipped the jacket. It was Tennessee. Okay. But yeah, he just kind of thanked everybody, made his decision, and that was it. The whole build-up to it was 30 minutes worth of just analysis and breaking down his film, and he's like, thanks, Mom and Dad. Love you guys. Thanks, Coach. I'm going to Tennessee. That was it. So
easy decision, sounds like.
Love that. Also, dude, pairing him up with Nico.
I got to think that played into it some.
Oh God, you got to see what the quarterback situation is.
You have the number 1 unless you're ESPN quarterback on campus. And he's gonna be there when you're there,
right? And if he's not, that means Jake Merklinger is that dude.
True.
So
he's the truth.
Now you're looking at Georgia and you're like, who's quarterback? Who is it? Because like even though they
Stetson can't stay in college forever as much as he tried. He can't.
and even though they have the number one player in the country at quarterback this year committed to him, Georgia has yet to play the best quarterback on their roster for years to come.
That's not true, Landon. Justin Fields did a fake punt in the SEC championship game. He was on the field. So how dare you
play the majority of snaps at quarterback? How about
that? No, I mean Tennessee's recruited really well. There's still a lot to do, like for Tennessee to be consistently where they're at, but getting Nico in that last class obviously helped build that class some, and it's obviously helping build this class some. And yeah, having Jake Merklinger committed as well does not hurt you.
Also, don't know how, obviously the quarterback is probably going to be Carson Beck. How is Brock Vandegrift and Gunnar Stockton not just like, yeah, I'm out?
And they may be. And like
they're all time. It's the Colt. That's the only explanation.
Yeah. It is going to be interesting. You have to assume, but I think with anybody at this age, you don't want to assume. But like with Nico, I want to assume he came to Tennessee understanding he probably was not going to play his freshman year.
Yeah.
Like that probably is not going to happen. So in my head, I don't want to worry about him transferring if he doesn't. Again, he's young. You just never know. But he knew what the quarterback room looked like coming in. He knew Joe Milton was going to be here.
Yeah.
So you think that won't happen. I am interested to see what happens next year because I mean, Josh Heupel actually mentioned this at SEC Media Days that the days of having 3 or 4 it's gone. Mm-hmm. The days of having 2 really good quarterbacks. Even like Alabama, great example, a team that should have 3 or 4 quarterbacks like they used to. The next guy rolls in, just wins the national championship. That does not exist anymore. They don't even have a number 2 quarterback.
They don't actually have even a number 1 to try to, beefing up their quarterback competition.
Yeah. So those days are gone. So I am interested to see what happens there. But I'm pretty confident Nico understood the situation.
Which, dude, I mean, how big of a slap in the face is that to Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson wearing, you're thinking like, this is the competition right here, us two. You have 2 4-star quarterbacks coming in as freshmen. You're like, it's us two fighting it out. And then Saban's like, nope, bringing in a guy who is average at best at Notre Dame.
Who lost to Marshall.
Yeah, who lost to Marshall.
Yeah, I've talked about with Adam so many times. We're like, there's no way Alabama can't be good. But you go watch so many of their games last year, and if Bryce Young getting their quarterback, like against A&M, they just don't look that great. And it's Alabama. It's Nick Saban. It's one of those things that they've earned the assumption that they're going to be really good. They've earned that for sure. But looking at the landscape, the most important position in college football is quarterback right now. And they have none.
Yep. Hate it for them. Really do.
I hate to do this, but we got to mention it. Going back into kind of like the previous, the other day, Adam, the worst Pruitt had partially wasn't his fault, and then also partially his fault was having to play Jared Garantano at quarterback when he first got on campus, and then not making the change away from Jared Garantano.
Yeah.
0. It's back there. It's still on 0. We're good.
I just love that. What was I going to say? You made me think of JG too much. It's clouding my memory.
Just think about that number 2, baby. He's gonna be our quarterback next year.
Well, so he was like, his whole argument for his appeal is going to be like his young assistants that he hired went rogue. Hey, Jeremy Pruitt, you have like clear evidence. That argument.
I mean, there's phone calls with him involved. Like that, no doubt. There's evidence he was involved.
But if Jeremy Pruitt doesn't like somebody, he's got evidence where he is fired a coach in the middle of a game. So,
how have we not gotten the story of that yet in all of this? There's not a text message mentioning that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Jimmy Brumbaugh, he was the whistleblower, had to be.
Potentially, and that would be hilarious if it was.
If it wasn't, I mean,
he was working immediately after the year after that. Is he still working?
I don't know.
Because you're getting blackballed immediately after that if you were.
Right. But also, like, they just fired me. I'm doing it. They just fired me for Kentucky, a team that he came from. So,
and I mean, that wasn't the problem against Kentucky either. Was the defensive line?
No, we kept throwing picks.
We threw a Will Levis amount of picks.
Actually, Jeremy Pruitt did land a 5-star quarterback, and
he did.
Son of a gun,
and didn't play him.
Is that 5-star quarterback is now a walk-on at Louisville? It's unbelievable. I mean, I hope Mark Nagy writes a book just on the Jeremy Pruitt era because it's insane.
You certainly could.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know what it means. They had code words to get into a parking garage. Why do you need code words?
I guess the person there, like, taking up the money.
But they knew what was happening. Couldn't they just roll up and be like, I'm in? It's not like, what did you tell them to get the code? I just don't understand the correlation. Like, you just tell the guy to let Landon Raby in when he comes up and gives you the name, and you let him in.
I don't know.
Why did they need code? The code words the code names. Some of them made zero sense. Some of them were just phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I think that's awesome. Like, they had a different code word for each game.
Yeah. Some people were like, "What does this mean?" I'm like, "It's pretty obvious what it means, guys."
Yeah,
but it wasn't the 2020 schedule all in its entirety. So we're clearly missing some. Because someone said it was the 2020 schedule. We didn't play BYU in 2020.
Interesting.
Bring down BYU too. Like, what does that mean?
Well, they brought us down.
I guess it would have been the 2019 schedule. So maybe that's what they said. Sorry. Yeah, it would have been the 2019 schedule. Except I guess they ran out. I don't know who we played after noon at Neyland, but you know why I'm here, which again is it's not really a code word or codes. Like, that's just probably what they should have said originally every time.
Also, I'm thinking that poor old guy that's sitting there at the gate and, like, some, 16-year-old rolls down the window. He's like, I'm here. I bet he's thinking, like, what a dick.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I'm trying to imagine the staffer walking up to him and he's like, to the same old man who probably don't want to be there anyways.
Right.
He's like, hey, we got a good one this week. Okay. Tells it to him. And the guy immediately forgets. Black Hawk down. It's $40.
Yeah. Black Hawk Down. That sounds
great movie.
Yeah.
$40.
$40.
And by the way, that's not the real number. You could never park near campus for $40.
Yeah. He's like, Black Hawk Down. Nice to meet you. I didn't even hear him.
But the Vol Navy don't need no anchor. That's also the Vol Navy don't need no is just a great way to use that. The Vol Navy don't need no anchor is all time.
Also, Jeremy Pruitt, no way he came up with those code words. Or it's an all-time cover-up.
Don't need no. But Pruitt doesn't want to be involved. So it's good that it looks like he's not.
Yeah, it's a cover-up.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, they'll never think I said this.
Don't need no really does look like Jeremy Pruitt, though.
He kind of should have done asparagus.
Fair point. Yeah, no, it's the stuff. Keep writing the articles. The fact that we got a Walter Nolan story was pretty good. Also, they had him in town. Did I understand it correctly? They had him in town while they were at Georgia.
I did not read the article. All I knew was it was before he lived in Knoxville.
Right. It sounded like we had him in the week that the team was at Georgia. No, because it said a player hosted him. Never mind. So I must have read incorrectly. Okay. The player also told I don't know why the player needed to be like, they gave me $250. Oh yeah, and I bought weed and cigars with it. I think you could have just told him they gave me $250. I don't think you needed to completely throw it all out there. I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, they gave you the money and you went and blew it on weed and
they're like, did did the recruit smoke? And he's like, no.
Yeah, they're like,
I
take
just-
him
I
to Ruth
bought weed."
Chris, and the guy immediately went and bought weed.
I mean, that era, it had to be fun to be on those teams, man, to just see all of this happening.
I want to know who the player was.
I'd like to know as well.
I think that'd be fun.
You can come on the podcast and we'll do that like documentary anonymous voice with you.
Yes, that'd be cool.
We'll voice over you. Don't worry.
Yeah. They'll only see your
Welcome.
face.
You're welcome on anytime. Do
They'll
what?
only see your face.
Yeah, that's it. And you'll wear your jersey.
Yeah.
So they cannot easily identify you. That's it. No big deal.
We use code words too.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. We should come up with code words for the tailgates.
Okay. Ooh, to like get in, like
To get in. Like, it's free, but you can get in. We also like have no way to control entering.
it's like,
either.
who do you know here? Black Hawk Down. Nope, that was last week. Try again.
It's Black Hawk Down this week.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We just do different variations of Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
I love tangents. They're so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, Tennessee landed a 5-star. Got some
Are we still on, or are you like, is that your move on? Is that your
Yeah,
transition?
I'm just moving on.
Okay.
But a little bit. So you do have Edwin Spillman, who is a 4-star linebacker that is set to commit tomorrow between Tennessee and Ohio State. His brother is currently enrolled at Tennessee. Nate Spillman, wide receiver, and Tennessee kid. So definitely want to land that one. You got Kai Bates out of Louisiana, 4-star cornerback who will commit on the 26th. Looks like it's between Tennessee and LSU. And then Amari Jefferson will make his decision August 5th, and that will be between Tennessee and Alabama. Another in-state kid. Want to get that one.
Those are a couple big programs to beat out
Yeah.
too, which would be make it that much sweeter.
Yep.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Let's finish out July strong. Let's get into fall camp on a real happy
Oh,
note.
yeah. Well, that's the thing with, like, I've noticed with, and maybe it's just, of course, you won 11 games, but it just seems like the three guys that they took, Jacob Warren, Joe Milton, Amari Thomas, represented well, number one, but it just seems like these guys are just having a great time just being a part of this program.
Which you love to see.
Yep. I don't know if that's always been the case. So,
I mean, they were buying weed for some players. They had to have some fun.
oh,
being
yeah.
a part of that
Yeah.
program.
It wasn't fun getting blown out by Kentucky.
But you had a way to completely forget it if you wanted to. Probably, I mean, maybe not like A&M where you smoke in the locker room after, but like very soon you could.
Yeah, it's like, guys, we still got the number one recruiting class.
That A&M story has been kind of blown over. There were guys that got caught smoking weed in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's not like if I found out there were 19-year-old kids like drinking after the game in the locker room, that wouldn't shock me. And I wouldn't be like, you're really dumb, because you can hide alcohol fairly. You can't really hide weed.
Yeah, who brought it in? Because we didn't have like an OBJ that was just going to come and like throw cash and stuff like that. So,
No. No.
'cause, I mean, they'd probably got better weed if it wasn't for Niedermeyer's wife just spending all the money.
Are they together still?
No, they're not.
Okay, so she's probably like, that's what
So
we
X.
need. We need her to start tweeting. Like, he didn't.
Ooh, let's
he
get
never,
her on the podcast.
He never bought me anything. Like, we need to really beef this story up. We know that what that money was used for, but we need to hear from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. He was only worried about getting commitments and not making a commitment to her.
New headline. We wrote the next headline for you, Mike Wilson.
There you go.
All right, SEC Media Days.
Yeah.
Speaking of all this, Lane Kiffin's take, they're always dumb, was phenomenal today.
About NIL?
That one. But the one where he was like talking about Tennessee's punishment.
Oh, yeah.
And he said he heard Josh Heupel was excited, something. You're at Ole Miss, who has every time they're good, they've gotten caught doing something. Every time. You left violations at USC and Tennessee. You went to Alabama where Pruitt was from, it's just real rich. It's so rich.
Well, and like Lane, like you're kind of responsible. I know you're not responsible for what Jeremy Pruitt did, but like we don't hire Jeremy Pruitt if it wasn't for your dumb ass. So,
I mean, that's a long stretch to get there, but I like the take. We can work that timeline for sure.
I mean, this is just a snowball effect, and
correct.
It's finally getting to the bottom of the hill.
Yes, I agree. And then his take about cheating, just that NIL legalized cheating. I mean, are we going to pretend that this wasn't? Is that just? Are you trolling? Or are you trying to convince? Are you really trying to convince people? That's what I want to know. And I like to lean that he's trolling, but you also never know with Lane. But is he trying to convince a population of people that there was not money in athletics? It was amateurism at its finest in SEC football before NIL came along?
Right.
Just tell me.
Also, speaking of weed and alcohol, I mean, that dude looks like he's been on a bender.
Lane Kiffin and Morgan Wallen, the girls they hooked up with this week, are the Venn diagram of them is just a circle. Yeah. Like they've both just been running through Broadway.
It's they're like trying to see how many like times they can be Eskimo brothers.
Yeah, like they're both gonna get the same text in the next 6 weeks that lets them know that they're dad.
Yeah, they're just gonna start a group chat with all of them.
Yes, they'll be in the same they'll be in the same doctor's office soon taking paternity test.
Yeah, it was one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he went to his hotel this morning. Like he might have just walked out of Jason Aldean's Sundown Town and gone to the SEC Media Days.
He kind of looked like
that's not the name of Jason Aldean's saloon, by the way, but I feel like for this week it had to be said.
He looks like he was at like a bachelor party, got arrested, spent the night in a drunk tank, and like went 100%. To SEC Media Days after that.
Those guys that showed up to the NASCAR racetrack or whatever, the go-kart track we went to in Vegas were in a lot better shape than Lane Kiffin this morning. And one dude ran through the barrier. He was so drunk.
On a turn. Didn't even turn the wheel.
Just bad. That's exactly what he looked like. And he may have been with a bachelor party for all we know.
Yeah, maybe.
If you partied with Lane Kiffin last night, come on the pod right now. Call in.
Which I guess, like, if we're being...
Dylan, get down to Broadway right now and see if Lane Kiffin's at a bar at the moment.
If you're a bachelor party and, like, you have a bunch of, like, young, like, I guess younger single guys, I guess the best place to have a bachelor party would be in Nashville because there's so many bachelorette parties, right?
I mean, I know people who've been in Nashville for bachelor parties and they loved it. But, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to do that, but...
Hey, don't ask for Lane Kiffin. Ask for Joey Freshwater. You'll get farther, Dylan.
Yeah.
There's no way he's going by that name. So you're good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what a Nashville bachelor party would look like. I imagine it would be really like sweaty and condensed. Every bar you're in, you're just nut to butt.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there was one common thing with SEC Media Days. That the Tennessee players, all three mentioned. That was win the East. They all three mentioned it. Win the East. We're capable of winning the East. I like that.
Get to the ATL, baby. That's the final goal.
Yeah. I mean, and they try to get it out of Joe Milton. They're like, so does that mean like you beat Georgia? And he was like, whatever happens, we just got to win the East.
So, I like the mentality. And I mean, stark difference between some former coaches and what Heupel said. He's like, this is Tennessee. Our goal is to win championships. He did mention there's an S in there. So 2 S's. It was plural. And I don't know if that means, win this year and next year, or win multiple in a year, which I would like that too.
Yeah. Either
but I like that. Like you said, they're not shying away from the goals they set. Mm-hmm. And I like that. And I'm okay with the train of thought of being like, it's not our only focus. Like, that's fine. You have other focuses. Like, you're going to be thinking, get, these certain mile markers, get there. But at the end of the day, you play to win the game. Your goal is to play in Atlanta. Your goal is to be in a college football playoff. Like that at any team, that's their goal. And don't shy away from that fact.
And this whole team has heard all this offseason. Hey, just try to finish second. You're going to finish second in the East. Like, Georgia's a different monster than you. They've heard it all offseason. Yeah. And I'm not saying they're going to beat Georgia, because if I'm picking right now, I'm probably going to pick Georgia. I think that's a safe bet.
I'm picking Georgia. I mean,
but they've heard it. Maury Thomas mentioned that, about the defense. Like, that's all they've heard is, the only reason why Tennessee won last year is because the offense, scored way more points than
which is true.
They couldn't stop it
more than the other team.
Yeah,
which is true. That is why they won games.
Right. They couldn't stop South Carolina. They couldn't get to the quarterback. And he was like, yeah, we've heard all that, and we're ready to take the next step, and there's talent on this defense, and there is. So they've heard kind of the chatter this offseason. I like how they're kind of like, hey, focus on the season. Like, we're ready for Virginia. We're ready to start talking about Virginia. We don't care how far Joe Milton can throw an orange. We just are worried.
But it is far, by the way.
It is pretty far, yeah. I mean, I watched his with Cole Kubelik. I mean, everybody had a question about, like, hey, how far can you throw this? How far can you throw that? As Joey Halsley got on you about throwing random objects. And he was like,
to be fair, we talked about this. If I had the talent of being able to throw things far, I would do it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a guy thing. Do you remember one time we were out on a boat and we just tried to see how far we could throw things to see if we could get to the shore?
Well, yeah.
That's just a guy thing to do.
Yeah. Also, like, football doesn't work out. Dude, perfect. Got a perfect candidate for you.
Correct. And I'm not saying the goal is to come in second by any means, but be in a position to come in second. Like, when you go down and play Georgia, like, winner goes to Atlanta, loser comes in second. Like, be in a position to be in second.
And that you put yourself in that position this year, you had a chance. That was to win the East, and you didn't get it done. And so, yeah, hopefully that's motivation. Hopefully it's motivation that, hey, no one's picking you to win.
Yeah.
But there is one good thing going for Tennessee this year, and that game's in Neyland, baby.
It's very true. It is.
So
let's prove what's his name right. How about that? And his teammates wrong.
What do you think about Heupel and his Texas comment?
Love it. I mean, that's an Oklahoma guy, number one. So he's already got, like, you don't have to build up that UT versus UT hate. Which shade of orange is right. You knew he hated him. We're good there. And then I think he's a better, when he decides to troll, he's a way better troll than Lane Kiffin could ever dream of being.
Yeah.
He's got some good comments in press conferences. I think this year he was asked about an injury. And I think Wes Rucker had tweeted something out that day, like, I can tell you what Josh Heupel's going to say right now. And he just said, ask Wes. So, like, he's aware of what's going on. He knows the buttons to press. He's just not as much of a douche about it.
Yeah.
Which did you say? Okay, speaking of troll, did you see someone take my troll credit today? Did you see that text I sent you? No, we're not going to talk about it.
Me?
Don't like read it out loud. I'm just trying to stay, TA, troll anonymous. But yeah, someone tried to take my credit, and I can't have access to said account to prove that it's mine, but it is.
Oh.
I was like, why would you even lie about that? Piss me off. Whatever. I don't need credit. I just don't want others taking credit. That's it. What do you want me to do about
it? Yeah. You're like, no, you weren't.
I didn't want to comment that on there. Because, again, TA.
No. Yeah. I do love how I saw some stuff of, like, why are we taking Jacob Warren? Why are we taking Amari Thomas? And I thought those two guys were, number one, were big Amari Thomas fans who came on the pod.
100%.
Also, like, 2 Tennessee guys, number one. 2 guys that were here and stuck it out. And then obviously you're going to take your quarterback. But, I think that's big for people to represent your program when they've been at the bottom. And now they're here reaping the benefits because they stuck it out.
Yeah, and I think too, like Amari doesn't really come as a surprise for me. Jacob Warren a little bit, but it's also like he's clearly a leader in that locker room. So,
and dude,
it does make sense, and I like for the reasons you listed as well, for sure.
Yeah, and Jacob Warren, dude's a speaker. He did a really good job. So, yeah, I like. And they're 3 starters. 3 multiple year starters when I count Joe. You're going to take your quarterback. If you have a clear cut QB1, you're going to take them. But yeah, Jacob Warren is a huge part of this offense. Going to be even a bigger role because Princeton Fan has gone on. And then Maury Thomas is kind of the anchor of that defense. So
he's not gone. He's just not. He graduated. He's not gone on. That makes it sound like he passed away.
Oh,
he's still with us.
Gone on to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to clear that up, guys. Yeah. Golly. Landon's out here cursing people.
Breaking news.
Sorry to distract you.
Oh, you're good. Also, Joe Milton confirmed he can throw a football 90 yards.
At least 90 yards.
Yeah. He said it starts with a 9. That's
could be 900. We don't know.
It could be 9 yards, just 9.
He's been working on touch too much, actually.
He just throws it straight up in the air.
Do we know, maybe Nissan Field's a little bit longer? Maybe that's why we're playing there first. Give him a little more room to work.
Yeah. Or smaller stadium, maybe you can throw it out.
I'm okay. I get it. Joey Halsley, you don't want him throwing as far as he can or random objects, but can we please just get a video before the season starts of him trying to throw the ball out of Neyland? Please.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
And then put that golden arm on ice, baby.
Let Joe come on the podcast. We'll come down and interview you. We'll do it.
Yeah.
And we're no longer ideas guys. We have made breaking news now. Well, sort of breaking news now. Me and Landon are no longer ideas guys. We officially got Xander Seacrest NIL deal with Big League Chew.
Yeah.
That has officially happened. Congratulations, Xander Seacrest.
We are
and
NIL
Big League
teams.
Chew. Yes.
We are on the forefront for the athletes. So, yeah.
100%. I will take my Xander. I know you're listening. I will take my agent cut of 10% of the gum you make.
Okay.
I just want 10% of the gum.
I would like to see him on the cover of his own gum.
I like that.
And just like how it's kind of animated.
Yep.
Like him throwing from the left-hand side. Yeah, I think that'd be sick.
Clip this. I'll send it to Big League Chew. They're in my contacts list now. So
okay. Yeah. Y'all are buds.
Yep. There's no one can take credit for that. There's evidence that I did it.
Yeah.
Except Xander. I guess he could take some of the credit.
Yeah, because he chews
gum and pitches the ball really well. So
yeah.
I guess he gets that. Whatever. But yeah, that's a big step for us. No longer ideas, guys. That took what? A year to make happen? It was close to this time last year when we said we'd make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it happened. That's the point.
It did happen. Yeah. Forget where we were at. Oh, we're talking about Joe Milton and his freaking cannon.
Joe Milton.
Yeah.
Yeah. How I want to watch him throw a ball.
Well, and it's I feel like people are kind of doubting him a little bit. Like I've seen the hype, but I've also seen doubt. Like he hasn't been good other than that Clemson game. And I guess that's fair. And a lot of people are like, well, he was a one-trick pony at Michigan. He's a one-trick pony at Tennessee. Well, are we not forgetting about Jalen Hyatt? He was kind of the same way, and this staff and this scheme kind of made the most out of his ability. Brought the most out of him.
Yeah. I think there's some hesitation from my end with Joe a little bit because we've really only seen him for 2 games. One of those games, though, was just bad weather for any quarterback to play in. But I like the situation he's in of hey, let's find a way to take some off the ball. Like that's a good situation to be in. And I think he's worked. Like it's Clemson, he's done. Like he's worked on it. Like there's progress there. And now we're talking about we're almost 7 months removed from Clemson.
Yeah.
8 months removed from Clemson.
It was just a confidence thing.
He didn't just stop working.
Yeah, it was just a confidence thing. He's had all the talent in the world forever. I mean, he was a 4-star quarterback. He's always had the talent. I think he just lacked confidence. I think when he got here, even he mentioned it took him like a year and a half to get comfortable in this system. And that's all that is confidence.
Yeah, no, I like where
Jordan. I think he was poised. He didn't seem like he was lacking any confidence today at SEC Media Days.
I don't know how you can. You're 6'4". You have sweet dreads, and you can throw the ball.
And you
really
got new teeth. You got new teeth.
Oh,
he had that chain on. Yeah, dude was looking spiffy.
He had a dope Mark Nelson suit on. Shout out. No free shout outs. No shout out. Redacted. Yeah. Take that out.
We'll edit it. That's kind of all I have for SC Media. It's not a lot. But I'll
go back and watch, see maybe.
Not a lot of great stuff. I do want to mention Tennessee's not new jerseys, but new type of uniform.
That's it. Yeah, just their uniforms. Mention their uniforms.
Do you like the arm sleeve and the gloves?
I honestly obviously again, traveling very little on Twitter. So I saw them when you tweeted it out because I commented back. I did not realize I didn't take a good look at them. Yeah, they're really sweet. I didn't see the small T's on the sleeves.
Yeah, it's really cool.
For sure. The details, baby. And we get orange, I don't know. No program that is sponsored by Nike, Adidas, whatever, that's sponsored by them should be in plain white or plain black clothes.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's the thing I'm most excited for.
A little orange on the cleats. I guess it's just a new Nike uniform, which looks similar to the rest. But do love the design for the arm sleeve and the gloves. And also the cat in the photo shoot.
Yeah, who was? I saw someone sent me a TikTok. I haven't watched it yet. Who's
Omar Norman Lott's cat. Yeah.
Okay. Big. Yeah, not the cat. Cat looked great. Cat looked like it was in great shape.
Yeah, definitely a Vol cat.
Love it. Well, not the Vol cat, but we'll give Austin a year to be a Vol cat before he makes his full transition to a volunteer.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean,
that seems like a good compromise.
I feel like it's only a matter of time before he gets buried by one of us. Like I literally buried a Kentucky fan on Twitter this week.
Did he ever?
He did not. No, he stuck to it.
Wow. Credit to him for sticking to it. I mean, you did get just absolutely verbally abused, but I'll give you credit for sticking to your guns. I do. Before we move on to the home game announcement, club. Make sure you follow the link. Dylan's going to tweet that. Become a member. It's time. We talked about recruiting a lot early on in this podcast. Student athletes, they look at NIL opportunities. They look at what can they do for themselves and their families, whatever it may be, because they can make money now. And just like every, red-blooded American, they want to make money. And volunteer club really does matter. $5 a month, you can get in for $5 a month. You can give more than that though, and if you can, do it. But as little as $5 a month, they have awesome opportunities for their members, tailgates, other events, potentially to meet the players,
merch.
You get discounts on merch, tons of stuff to do. So make sure you go follow them on all your social medias, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Do that. Sign up today. Sign up right now with our link.
Yep. Do it. And before we get into that, I got one more ad for you. So check out our good friends at Knoxville Tours. They have tours you don't want to miss. If you give them a call today at 865-688-6232 and mention more important issues, you'll get an exclusive offer on their 5-day MLB tour. The offer will include 4 nights in Cincinnati, or 4 nights, 1 in Cincinnati, 3 in Chicago. That's going to be a Reds game. It's going to be 2 Chicago Cubs games, a White Sox game. It includes stadium tours, game tickets, a city tour, and much more. Give them a call today at 865-688-6232 for more details on their August 4th through 8th Motor Coach Tour that's coming up, so don't miss that.
Do they get to tour Wrigley?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's sick. You got to go.
Yeah.
If you haven't signed up yet, go sign up right now. That's awesome. Go Cubs. All right. First home game announced, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more if noon, what they say, Neyland at noon?
Yeah.
Noon Neyland, if that died.
No more noon games in Neyland?
I would love nothing more.
Agreed.
If you play at noon, you should have to play at John Tarleton. It'll go along with a lot of the officials we've had in Neyland recently. 5 o'clock's kind of a weird time, but honestly, that's kind of, I feel like for this game, it's perfect. Like 7 o'clock kind of sucks for these games, Austin Peay's who we're playing, for games like that. 5 o'clock seems perfect. Like you're going to get out, you're going to be home by 10:30.
Yeah.
But you're also going to get a full day of tailgating. Come tailgate with us. So I'm into it. I like this 5 o'clock start.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be a blast, and usually don't get to kick off your first, or you haven't in the past couple of years, got to kick off your first game with a tailgate. So,
which we will, but
all time
because we'll be in Nashville. But we're not tailgating probably.
First home game.
Yeah,
because they've been doing the freaking Thursdays. Horse crap. Yeah, that's just tough.
Yeah, don't like that, but we're good. We're good now. It's we at least get to do Neyland. The first time we do Neyland this year, it's 5 p.m. So it won't be a breakfast. Well, we might eat breakfast at the tailgate, but not as a group. It's gonna be fun though. It's like I said, 5 o'clock's perfect. You go eat lunch before or you can eat with us. Go eat lunch before you come. Stroll down. It's a couple hours tailgate. Walk right over to the stadium. Get out. Back home by 10:30. I mean, that just sounds like
hopefully running clock by then.
Yeah, that sounds like the perfect Saturday in the fall to me.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
You're gonna get to see Nico play that day for sure. If you don't see him week before, you're gonna see Nico play.
100%.
Come.
Yeah,
come ready to come.
Come ready to come. I was gonna say something else. Oh, I was 100% sure it was gonna be an in game. 100%.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They're like, well, they're streaming. It's not even on TV. Who cares?
Who cares?
Go to the game.
You can watch it or come to the game. Yeah, that'll be one of the few games in Neyland that it will be affordable this year.
Yeah. So
I saw someone post that tickets for A&M were already up to $250.
I looked at Georgia today. The cheapest ticket I saw was like $485.
Dumb. Shout out season tickets, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Have they sent season tickets yet? No, that wasn't what I was worried about. I was about to say I checked the other day and I couldn't find my receipt, but that wasn't the tickets I was worried about. So we're good.
All right. SEC coaches.
Talking about that, can we get paper tickets, please?
Yeah, we need paper tickets back.
Okay, good. Just wanted to get that on the record.
Yeah.
I
mean, save the trees, but that's a tree I'll sacrifice.
100%. 100%. I'm with you. Save them all, but not the ones that get to be used for my season tickets.
Correct.
Not those. Make them plastic. Just put more plastics into this planet. Who cares?
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Make what do they call it? Like Garbage Island out in the Pacific? Make it bigger.
Or just give me something that is obtainable.
Honestly, don't they say the ocean is rising? So we should be building another island. Like Garbage Island would be perfect to live on. We're saving humanity.
Hell yeah.
Into that.
Rock on.
And that's how we would survive in the wilderness. These coaches, I don't know if I know for a fact Jimbo Fisher isn't that smart because he hired a great coordinator and play caller, and sounds like he's definitely not calling plays this year.
Yeah, which is very strange for you to just like be a offensive guru and then you just like,
Yeah,
I'm out.
100%.
Whatever.
And we'll start with Jimbo since I mentioned him, and kind of like last week where he really kind of stayed in the second tier. He's a national championship winning coach, but he stayed, and that's why he stayed in the second tier. Similar for that reason, he would have been in the second tier for me. You know, if you live a good portion of your life in the state of Florida, I gotta think you can survive just about anything. I mean, they have tons of animals that will eat you, but that dude's soft as Charmin.
He's originally from West Virginia, right? So he's probably been in the mines a little bit.
Wow. He might stay in the second tier. No, I think I'm going lower. I bet that house, $100 million. I bet he's been living a cushy life since moving from Florida.
Okay.
He didn't have to worry about the Texas heat. He's got a good AC unit. He didn't even finance it, which, isn't fair to land him. But yeah, I think he's third tier for me. I don't think he can cut it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm cool with that. So we're just going
we can go down the list now, but I mentioned Jimbo. I thought it was fair to start with him.
Okay.
We'll start with Nick Saban. And I know he's old and brittle now, but he does have a new hip as of recently. He's from West Virginia as well. He's really short, but he's still gotten to where he's at. I think he's first tier for me. I think he's a Boy Scout type dude. Like, he's always prepared. He's kind of been like, as a short guy, I know like you're kind of always living in the wilderness a little bit to an extent. So I think he could do it. I really do.
Yeah, he's got the hat. He's not going to get sunburned the first day. So
yeah, he probably even has sunscreen. Nothing else but sunscreen for sure. Or he knows how to make it.
Yeah, I was about to say like his healthcare plan is probably so insane where he doesn't need to use like sunscreen or moisturizer or anything.
And he also has the thought of like, I think he does love his wife the way he talks, but he has that thought of like, if I don't come home from this, like she's going to kill me a second time, and dying once sucks. I don't want to know what dying sounds like. And so he has that thought in his head too.
Okay.
So I think he's first tier. Kirby Smart. I've got to go second tier for him. I don't know, where are you at?
Yeah, I think I'm at second tier. He did play defense in the SEC, so I think
as a white guy,
it should count for something. He played defensive back too, so
right, like that's gritty.
Yeah,
like it's gritty enough for anyone. White dude doing it, that's grit.
Yeah, but you still have a comb over, so I just
he just has a bowl cut, doesn't he? Or does he have a comb over bowl cut?
Yeah, it's like
okay, swooshy. He's got Bama bangs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, but I do think he has that grit. But yeah, he's a cushy guy. He apparently, I mean, he did some story that he talked about how his wife essentially gives him an allowance. So like, he's probably grinding pretty often, when he runs out on the recruiting trail.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think there is some grit. You're right. I think there is some grit to him, but I don't know if it's first tier grit. I don't think it's Nick Saban level grit.
Yeah. He will like say people said he couldn't do it, and then it'll make him do it.
Sneak into the first tier. Oh my gosh. Or lying to himself. What are his inner thoughts on like day 13? Sleeping under a tree.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I think I'm gonna stay second tier. He looks too clean for me.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna stay second tier.
I agree with that.
Quit taking showers, Kirby. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Josh Heupel. This is unbiased for me. Completely unbiased. He's tier 1. He grew up in South Dakota. One of the Dakotas. It doesn't matter. Yep. He grew up in Dakota. He went to college for a year in Utah at a place called Snow College. He has.
Oh yeah, he's been the JUCO route.
He's played under Mike Leach, so he's probably heard about every animal that you have to fear in the wild.
Yeah.
This is a gritty guy. This is a gritty guy. He knows what it takes. He's obviously can make something out of nothing. We've seen, I mean, Tennessee, we're going to be called the Phoenixes soon, rise from ashes. He knows how to get. I trust Josh Heupel with my life. I would go in the wilderness with him for 40 days. It's Josh Heupel. He's tier 1.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, just left-handed too. I don't know how that helps, but
Well, the animal attacking him would obviously think he's right-handed, but this is one of the
Yes.
few percentages that and he catches that clean.
Yeah, just catching him off guard. Yeah.
Yeah, that bear's not gonna know what hit him for sure. Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly is definitely bottom tier.
Bottom tier. He's gonna go in first day real excited. You know, he's gonna act like he knows what he's doing. Probably change his accent according to the environment and try to work with that. But the problem is he does not have some random kid to sacrifice out in the wild like he did at Notre Dame. So he's tier 3, easy. You know, give it like 5 years living in Baton Rouge. He may figure it out. He might get up to tier 2, but I think he's tier 3.
Yeah, the guy played at Assumption in 1979 through 1982.
What is? I don't know what that is.
It was a club. It has club in parentheses, so it wasn't even like sanctioned. So
okay,
that gives me like
I think there might be some grit to that though.
I think it's more of like a lacrosse vibe. Like like a country club.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, like they play like 7-man football. They don't. It's 2-hand touch or something like that. That's the vibes it gives me.
I think he's tier 3. Yeah, I like that tier 3 for him.
Yeah, he's been up north too long.
Yeah. Hugh Freeze.
Definitely
bottom tier. And you know, I mean, maybe he goes like the Jesus route. He claims to be a religious man. I mean, he's saved a lot of prostitutes according to his own records. It's why he had their phone numbers, you know, just checking in on them, their families. So maybe, you know, prayer's powerful, but my problem is I think maybe he might lean on prayer too much, maybe forget to eat. I don't know if he's got the grit. Yeah, I think he's third tier.
Yeah, I mean, he was born in Oxford, Mississippi, and he coached at Liberty, he coached at Ole Miss, he coached at Auburn.
Yeah,
he coached at Briarcrest Christian. You know, no offense to Jabari Small and Amari Thomas, but he was just meant to wear a bow tie and a blazer.
Yeah, and like his character was played by Derek Dooley too in the remake of Michael Orr's life.
Yeah,
is it not shocking how much that guy kind of looks like Derek Dooley? I don't know the actor's name. Yeah, no, I don't think he can cut it. This next one though, I think he's tier 1 for me. Have we done any second tiers? Kirby, that's right. I was like, we might need to find middle ground here. So I guess first tier is like they get out clean. Second tier, they may get out clean, but there's a chance they die. Third tier's dying for sure, right?
Yeah.
Is that how we're doing this? Okay.
Like first couple days.
Yeah, they're out. Third, or this guy's kind of an interesting one because I think sometimes you look at him and you're like, I don't know if there's enough food to feed him. But for me, like I think he's at least second tier. He might even be first. It's Sam Pittman. So let me get your thoughts because I'm borderline for him. I mean, he works with a dude named Tusk. That tells me he might know how to do it.
Yeah, and like him just being an offensive lineman coach, that's the grit I need.
He's been nasty his whole life.
Yeah, also like he has reserves where he probably doesn't have to eat for a while and can just survive off what he.
And he's pretty tan too, right? So like the sun's not going to affect him.
No, he's got great skin.
Yeah. So you're talking to where you have him.
I'm tier 2. I just think, I don't think he can make 40 days, but I do think he can make maybe like 10 or 15.
And he might make 40. I feel like tier 2. He's got to have a slim. See, I'm saying Nick and Josh, they're coming out clean.
Yeah,
Pittman's got a chance, I think.
Yeah, if he was in a little bit better shape, I think he might.
Well, he's got all the time. He's got 40 days to do it.
Yeah, I think he's going to need a little bit more than 40 days to get in shape.
I don't know, man. He knows how to call the hogs too. That's big. You get food. You get first service food at that point. Calling the hogs.
There should be an awesome picture somehow of like a vintage T-shirt of Sam Pittman riding a hog.
That'd be good.
Or a hog riding Sam Pittman, I guess, either one.
You missed it last night. Amanda called the hogs. I think, Dylan, did she say a woo pig shoey? Is that what she said?
Shoey?
Yeah. So that was awesome. That was a good moment for sure.
But yeah, I'm going tier 2.
Okay, that's fine. I'm good with tier 2 on him.
Yeah,
because I'm not saying he's for sure getting out. Yeah. This next one, it's an interesting one. I think maybe tier 2 is Lane Kiffin. I mean, the man walked unscathed from an accident in a Lexus and made it home in one piece. Got out of that clean. That gives me some faith with him. But he is also a clean cut guy. But I think he survived Broadway last night, and that's big. That's a big deal.
Yeah, man. Like he gives me Hugh Freeze vibes. Like he's just USC, Florida Atlantic, Ole Miss, bow tie.
That's true. Yeah, he's
played
Silver Spoon for sure.
Quarterback at Fresno State
for like a day.
Oh yeah, but he was with the Raiders. He's just a Cali guy. I just don't know if he could handle like a tough terrain.
Cali's got some tough terrain though, man. I don't know
where he's been.
That's true. I think he's too clean. You got to find some grit, man. Yeah, I agree with that. Third tier, put him.
Third tier.
Mark Stoops. Those khakis are getting destroyed day one. He's out. He's third tier.
You think so?
He's similar to Kiffin, man. Kind of grew up in that community. Like he's not had a hard day in his life. I don't think he could do it.
That's true.
You got him second tier? What are you thinking? Let me hear your thoughts.
I don't know. He played defensive back at Iowa.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. He could cut the khakis. Now they're pretty versatile. He's essentially got zip-offs. That's a big deal when you're in the wilderness.
Yeah, they're just cargo
like Michael Scott.
Shorts.
Yeah, like you just cut them off and now they're so that's huge. Michael Scott did leave day one though. Safety.
He does coach at Kroger Field, so maybe they can hook him up with an NIL deal to get him some food to hold him over.
That they might even be able to fly it in. You never know.
Yeah,
he's got him on speed dial. Yeah. You've talked me into. I could not go tier 1 on him, but I could go tier 2.
Okay, we'll go tier 2.
Okay. Next one's kind of interesting. Shane Beamer. I'd love to go tier 3. I think he screams tier 3, but he also just he might just follow Nick Saban around the whole time and just do what he does.
Yeah.
That's what Kiffin would try to do, and then Saban might kill him.
His positions at Virginia Tech were wide receiver, which I know he didn't play, and a long snapper.
Ooh.
I think that's tier 3.
Yeah, if he's a special teams guy, he probably just tries to get drunk day one and then dies.
And he's never had a hard day in his life either.
He hadn't, no. Well, he did have to probably watch that Virginia Tech game with his dad where the game ended 0-0. So that's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know if he gets murdered by Saban because he's not as obnoxious as Kiffin. Whereas Saban turns around and he kills Kiffin. And now they both have food for a few days.
Yeah, I guess who ends up being more annoying? Shane Beamer just talking about himself, or Lane Kiffin just trolling somebody?
Lane Kiffin is definitely more annoying. 100%. No doubt in my
mind.
Wow,
that's all it takes.
No doubt in my mind. Because for Beamer, I've talked about this because we unfortunately went through the same thing with Butch Jones, and it gets old when you lose. But at first, like when he's your annoying asshole, he's yours, you cheer for him. Kiffin's just always just been insufferable. You want him to shut up, no matter what side he's on. Every Ole Miss fan you talk about, they're like, I just wish he'd turn off Twitter.
Facts.
I think Shane's got it. He'd be bottom for me, bottom tier 2.
He does love mayonnaise.
A lot of that in the wilderness.
Yeah.
I'm going bottom tier 2. Where are you at?
Yeah.
Final call. Tier 2. Okay. This one easy for me. Billy Napier, not a great football coach, but the dude's from Cookeville, Tennessee. He now lives in Florida. He's lived in Arizona, Colorado,
Louisiana.
He has a buzz cut. He's surviving in the wilderness. He's tier 1.
Yeah, I think so too. He's got that voice. Like, yeah, he's definitely wrestled some animals.
Yeah, he's probably the first thing he did in Florida. We know he's not recruiting hard. Is wrestle an alligator.
Yeah.
The very first thing. Yeah, easy first year. I like that. If you've met anyone from Cookeville, you know exactly what we're talking about. The next one for me, or the next one, Zach Arnett. Again, I don't know anything about him. Anything. He did coach under Leach. He's probably heard the same spiel Heupel has. He's kind of a bigger dude. Not big like Pittman, but bigger. Like stocky dude. I think he's got a chance. Do you know? Give me some information on him.
I know he played linebacker. Hold on. I'm pulling it up. Played linebacker at New Mexico. Tough terrain.
Okay. Yeah, that is tough terrain for sure.
From Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, I've driven through Albuquerque a few times.
He's only 36, so he's a younger guy, defensive guy. Coached under Mike Leach.
Yep.
Also, his coaching record's 1-0.
Big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Let's see, playing career. Was a 2-sport athlete, football and baseball.
Okay.
He entered scholarship for the football team. He excelled on the field and in the classroom during his college career.
Nerd.
Earning 6 forced fumbles and was first team academic All-American. So this man
kind of sounds like
he knows how to use his head, is what I got from that.
Yeah.
4-6 fumbles.
Can only get you so far.
He put his hat on the football, but also excelled in the classroom. So,
I think he's tier 2. I think he's a tier 2 guy. He's got a chance, like you said. He knows how to use his head, but
yeah, could surprise you and finish it out. We just don't know enough.
Yeah,
he's a wild
there
card.
Yeah, I like that. He's tier 2. I don't know exactly where we're at because I definitely don't have all the names right here.
I feel like
but Eli Drinkowitz, easy third tier. I mean, easy third tier. I don't think that needs to be explained anymore. He couldn't cut it in the mountains of Appalachia. He's not going to cut it anywhere.
No. Yeah. Okay. Here's. I'm going to give Dorkwitz a little bit of credit. Dude can read a compass.
Can he?
I don't know. I just assume he can.
This dude's gonna find civilization the fastest. Is he sneaky? Is he sneaky second tier? He's not for me, but for you, is he?
Man. I'm trying to read something about him. Raised in Alma, playing football. I don't know. I don't have anything. He was an all-conference, all-state selection, and was named FCA Huddle Leader of the Year. What?
Oh, he's stuck praying. He's stuck praying with you, Freeze. He's not making it anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think so. Tier 3.
All right, tier 3. Oh man, tier 3's full. These tier 2 guys are going to be tier 1s. They're having so much food. Clark Lee. That man's bald head's getting toasted day 1. He's going to be begging for Saban's hat. He's gonzo.
He played fullback.
Oh, wow. Tier 2. Tier 2.
It wasn't.
You know why he's tier 2 and not tier 1? Because he's a fullback, and
at Vanderbilt.
At Vanderbilt. Okay. When someone else in tier 2 starts going, he sacrifices himself for the better good. He lays it on the line for someone else. He's like, listen, I'm dying so you can live. I'm going to lead you through the next portion. He dies on like day 35 because he doesn't know you can go like 2 weeks without food. And he dies on day 35 and for someone else. He's tier 2, but kind of also tier 3 because he might pull something stupid like running through a hole that's not there for someone else.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
All right, we got 'em all.
not a great record, but yeah, I think it's tier 2 because
He's got that grit. He's got a different grit to him.
he
There's not
played fullback.
there's
He
not
did
another
only
full-
play fullback for 2 years because he started as a baseball player at an NAI school. So there's a
Okay.
little bit more grit to you. Did only play then transferred to Belmont, only played 1 year at Belmont and played in 5 games, and he was 2 for 5 with a strikeout. I don't know why that's in his Wikipedia page, but that's hilarious.
That is funny.
And then with the fullback, how do you go from barely playing baseball at Belmont to fullback at Vanderbilt?
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah. In the early 2000s, that's prime time SEC football, even
That's
though
something.
it's Vanderbilt.
Yeah. I'm shocked he's kind of a smart dude still because that sounds like just a haven for concussions.
Yeah.
Playing fullback in the early 2000s.
And he's coached linebackers like his entire career.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Tier 2. He's got a chance.
Yeah.
He's got a chance. I don't know if I believe in him, but he's got a chance.
Do we have anybody else?
No, we got them all.
Cool. All
Love
right.
it. Well, let's make that happen. That's our next idea. SEC coaches, next media day, instead of having talked to the media, we will drop you off in a remote location and pick you back up in 40 days. See who comes out.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun van to drive.
I think 40 hours would be like, obviously 40 days, like a lot of them are going to die, but, but I think 40 hours, like I want to see who comes out like looking the worst.
It's Kiffin. He was only out for like 12 hours last night and he looked terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll do it.
I could see Billy Napier and Clark Lee just like headbutting each other. I don't know why. Fullback and Billy Napier just looks like somebody who would just headbutt somebody just so he can get a split down his forehead.
Yeah. Like Brian Cushing. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. All right. Where are we at?
Do
we have any questions? Do we have any questions?
We did have a couple questions this week. Hold on, let me get to those.
All right, while Landon's doing that, I'm going to tell you guys about some of our other friends. This is a big deal. We help you here. Rowback. Some of the best polos on the planet. And we've got 20% off for you right now. And not just 20% off for Rowback. They also have an orange themed shirt. It looks great. We're working on something Tennessee specific for you guys. An orange themed shirt. Landon's got it. It looks great. I've got to order it now that I'm back home. 20% off if you use the code More Important Issues, all caps, More Important Issues. Go into rowback.com right now. Use that code, More Important Issues. Get you the orange one or get you something else you like. It's for first-time users, so make sure you're using a new email address when you do this and get that 20% off right now. Look good on the golf course. Look good at a dinner. Look good at brunch. Look good wherever you're going.
And it can be, it doesn't even have to be polos. They got shorts, hoodies, shirts, joggers, a lot of stuff over there. So go check out Rowback and get that 20% off.
Yeah, do it right now.
We had one question. How many regular season football games will you see Tennessee play this year?
We just have 7 because of the Nashville game. If so, 9.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So 9.
So we won't go to
we-
Kentucky, Alabama, and Missouri.
Yeah,
That
sounds right.
Yeah, 9 games. Yep, 9 games.
9 games, 10 if we get to Atlanta.
Yep. Well, I said regular.
Oh, okay. 2 more if we make it to the playoffs.
There you go. Yeah. Let's just keep adding to it. How about that?
Correct. Yeah, we'll play an exhibition game later on too that we'll attend.
Yeah. All right. Stupidity.
Mine was what was mine? I read it off earlier. Now I can't even remember. My phone's dead too, so I can't look at my screenshots. A lot of stupid people on Twitter. I love it.
I got Miranda Lambert.
So if I had to read the story and then we'll talk.
So she basically like stops her concert because people in like the front row were taking a selfie with her. I'm like, dude, they paid a lot of money to see your dumbass.
Yeah.
Why are you upset?
She called them out aggressively.
Yeah, it's like.
Also, what if that was like the first picture they took all night? I doubt it was, but what if it was?
Yeah.
How hilarious would that be?
I'm just like, get over yourself. No wonder why Blake Shelton divorced your ass.
So I saw her in concert 10 years ago, probably 9 years ago. I don't think she's all that good. And I love live music anyways. She did terrible. She was awful. She was hammered on stage. So she might have been again. She was hammered. You could tell like visibly, like just miserable. I don't think her music's all that good. So that made it worse. Yeah, just overall bad concert. And they were probably taking pictures to, live in that moment. And I hope now they're like, F you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like the tickets were way overpriced to see somebody that's not even that great.
Right.
And then you're mad that they took a selfie. I mean, at a concert, yeah, you're there for the music, but also you're there for the memories, and what makes a memory a picture does.
I like that. Come take pictures of the more important issues tailgate this year.
Yeah, do that.
We allow it.
Yeah. We actually prefer it, actually.
Honestly.
Yeah. We're upset if you don't take pictures with us.
Yes.
And of us. Yeah, I don't understand it, but whatever. She's stupidity. You got any more?
Nah, that's all I've got. I don't even remember what one was now that it's been an hour and a half since the beginning of the episode, but if you want mine, go back to the beginning of this episode.
Also got the this might be a kind of a fail, but I want to go ahead and read it because it is Lululemon and the Vol Shop teaming up.
Dude, I've heard phenomenal things about Lululemon, so I'm not gonna hate until I see them.
Well, I mean,
I'm probably not gonna buy it.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I mean, like I've heard great stuff too, but I've also heard how expensive it is, and then you slap on a tee, and the price is going to go
up, man. It's going to go up. Do you know if the Vol Shop still has those checkerboard suits?
Suits or like the
suits? They had them for a while.
Not the overalls, the suits.
No, the suits.
I don't know.
If they do, we should get those for the 500th episode.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
We'll expense it.
Yeah, write it off.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes back to us regardless, but yeah. I think they're stupid expensive, but we should definitely get them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like making Tennessee apparel even more expensive than it already is.
Well, it's at least not going to be all Lululemon, so you're good.
Yeah. But it's going to be so sick, and I'm just going to be disappointed that I can't buy it because I refuse to spend that kind of money.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I did get a new shirt this week from Volunteer Traditions. I don't know what brand it is. It's so comfortable. It's probably private label. Looks like it is. Dude, it's like a thin, like a shooty kind of deal, but it's like the moisture wicking material.
Oh.
So like this is getting worn on the golf course.
Okay.
For sure.
You wearing it Saturday?
Probably too hot for Saturday, but it's getting worn on the golf course. I'm actually playing 36 on Saturday, so maybe in the morning.
Hey, shout out, me and Deuce came in second. Yes, yesterday.
Yeah, cool invite.
Well, we're gone.
Did you invite me?
I didn't have to. I knew you wouldn't be in town.
What if I could have gotten back in time?
Then I would have invited you, but you said you wouldn't be back till Thursday.
But I could have been back. That's the point.
But you weren't.
Because you didn't invite me. Are you playing tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
What's tomorrow night?
Friday night.
No, we're not playing tomorrow night. We're playing Saturday.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you were doing both.
No, my wife's birthday is tomorrow. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I ain't invited that either, though. So.
Oh my God. All right. Whatever. Guys, thanks for listening.
Make sure you check out all of our friends. Underdog. Go sign up for Volunteer Club right now. Go sign up for Knox Tours. Get that tour Wrigley and more. That's just one good part of it. And then Roback. You should be going right now and purchasing your orange polo from Roback.
Yeah. Also got some big things coming with University Traditions. Be on the lookout for that.
Yes.
Also, got to give a shout out to Thomas Edwards and running through that tee.
Dude, God,
Heater
I'm
of a
just.
song. Heater of a song. So
We need to get his permission to play it Sunday on the pod.
okay, I like that. Yeah, that'd be sick. All right, guys. Thanks again. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.